It's Friday, the 20th of June. Welcome to the PDB Afternoon Bulletin. I'm Mike Baker, your eyes and ears on the world stage. All right, let's get briefed. First, as the war between Israel and Iran enters its 8th day, the IDF is reportedly beginning to run low on supplies of interceptors for their Arrow and other missile defense systems, with Iranian missiles increasingly slipping through the country's defensive shield. Of course, on the flip side, the Iranians are running out of ballistic missiles as the Israelis continue to target missile stockpiles and launchers with success. We'll have the latest details. Later in the show, federal agents thwart an alleged plot to attack law enforcement and government officials with explosive devices and large-scale fireworks during last week's anti-ICE riots in Los Angeles. But first, today's PDB Afternoon Spotlight. We'll begin today in Israel, where concerns are mounting regarding Israel's missile defense systems, including the Arrow system, as the country's supply of interceptors dwindles, and Iran pivots to launching more technically advanced missiles. The apparent shortage is raising questions about how much longer Israel can counter ballistic missiles from Iran as the war enters its 8th day. As a brief refresher, Israel relies on a multi-layered defensive shield that's been operating near full capacity since the conflict kicked off last Friday. The complex shield system includes Israel's renowned Iron Dome, designed to stop short-range rockets and artillery, the David Sling system, which focuses on medium-range to long-range rockets and cruise missiles, and the Arrow system, built specifically to intercept and destroy ballistic missiles. According to an exclusive report from the Wall Street Journal, Israel is running dangerously low on defensive Arrow interceptors, which had already been in short supply in the months leading up to the war due to relentless attacks by Yemen's Houthi militants. U.S. officials were already well aware of the capacity problems and have long been augmenting Israel's defenses with additional ground and sea and air-based assets, including Patriot missile batteries and Terminal High Altitude Air Defense, or THAAD, systems. As the conflict quickly intensified over the past week, with Iran launching more than 400 missiles at Israel so far, the Pentagon sent more missile defense assets to the region, but the U.S. also reportedly has a capacity shortage and is now quickly burning through U.S. stocks of interceptors. The report coincides with an assessment from U.S. and Israeli intelligence officials earlier this week. They said that at the current rate of Iranian missile strikes, Israel can likely only maintain its multi-layered air defenses for the next 10 to 12 days. That's according to the Times of Israel. One source warned, quote, the system is already overwhelmed, and said Israel would soon need to be more selective about which incoming targets they choose to shoot down. We should note, however, that Iran's modest arsenal of roughly 2,500 ground-to-ground missiles is already being quickly depleted, with the rate of strikes lessening in recent days. Plus, Israel has destroyed vast stores of Iranian munitions over the past week in targeted strikes. They've also eliminated roughly 40% of Iran's ballistic missile launchers. But reports indicate that the mullahs are now pivoting to using more advanced weaponry in their attempts to pierce through Israel's shield, including long-range two-stage ballistic missiles, as well as their Fatah-1 hypersonic missiles. Now, the hypersonic missiles, which are far more difficult to shoot down due to their maneuverability, have significantly shortened the time available for Israel's air defense systems to respond. To date, of the more than 400 missiles fired on the Jewish state by Iran, nearly 40 have broken through Israel's defenses, resulting in 24 civilian casualties and more than 800 injuries. Adding to concerns, a senior Israeli intelligence official told NBC News on Friday that the interception rate of Iranian missiles by the country's Iron Dome has dropped significantly in recent days, from nearly 90% to roughly 65%. The director of the Missile Defense Project at the Center for Strategic and International Studies had a stark warning, telling the Wall Street Journal, quote, neither the U.S. nor the Israelis can continue to sit and intercept missiles all day. The Israelis and their friends need to move with all deliberate haste to do whatever needs to be done, because we can't afford to sit and play catch, end quote. Now, the drop in Israel's interception rate is likely in part due to efforts on the part of the military to conserve their supply of interceptors. Officials said they've already chosen to allow some missiles to fall that were headed towards unpopulated open areas. But Iran's use of more sophisticated weaponry is also making it more difficult for the systems to shoot down incoming threats. Now, as we mentioned on this morning's PDB, Iran fired a wave of missiles and drones at Israel on Thursday, hitting a hospital in the southern city of Beersheba. And on Friday, another wave of some 25 missiles came raining down on the country, wounding at least 23 people in the city of Haifa. The IDF's chief of staff warned citizens on Friday to prepare for a, quote, prolonged campaign against the Islamic regime, adding, quote, while we've achieved significant results, challenging days still lie ahead, and we must remain alert and united until the mission is complete, end quote. All right, now a quick heads up. We'll be talking with retired IDF Major General Yaakov Amador on this weekend's PDB Situation Report about the very question of Israel's air defense systems, how effective they are, and where the systems fall short. You can catch that interview starting tomorrow evening at 10 p.m. on the First TV, and you can catch all the episodes of the Situation Report on our YouTube channel at President's Daily Brief. All right, coming up next, federal agents thwart an alleged plot by an anti-ICE protester to attack law enforcement and government officials with explosives and large-scale fireworks in Los Angeles. I'll be right back. Hey, Mike Baker here. Let me take just a bit of your time to talk about personal fitness, right? That's important. Now, the good news is that Americans are prioritizing their health, and they're focused on getting and staying in shape. But as you know, diet and cardio alone aren't enough, right? Strength training needs to be part of your regular routine. If you want to build muscle and burn fat, you have to strength train. So that's why I wanted to talk to you about a great company. It's Jacked Up Fitness. That's right, check it out, Jacked Up Fitness. They're all about making home fitness and strength training a convenient part of your routine. As an example, their all-new X series elevates home fitness to a whole new level. Their Power Rack Pro X functional trainer lets you do hundreds of exercises from the comfort of your own home. I've got a Power Rack Pro at home. Let me tell you something, it's fantastic. Construction is great, and literally anything I could do at the gym, now I can do at home. It features a completely upgraded cable crossover system with articulating pulley arms, giving you unlimited width combinations to hit every muscle group. And if you're new to strength training, don't worry about it. They offer a free Get Jacked Up program that has full body video workouts. All you got to do is press play and follow along. It's that easy. Look, take control of your fitness. Go to getjackedup.com and sign up for their free training program. And when you're ready to purchase your own Power Rack Pro X, just use my promo code BAKER to save 10% at checkout. That's getjackedup.com. Hey, Mike Baker here. Now, when it comes to feeding your family, right, you obviously want to give them the best. Am I right? No shortcuts. You look for the best, the freshest, the most wholesome foods you can. And when you're talking about beef, well, the place to turn to is Tri-Tails Beef. Now, Tri-Tails Beef is a fifth-generation Texas ranch, raising pasture-raised, grain-finished black Angus cattle. There's no middlemen, there's no mystery meat. It is a family-run operation delivering great beef directly from their ranch to your doorstep. This summer, fill your freezer with Tri-Tails Beef. It's raised right, it tastes incredible, I can vouch for that, and you'll be supporting real ranchers. Go to trybeef.com/PDB and you'll get 2 free flat iron steaks with your order. Because you want the best for your family, well, it's gotta be Tri-Tails. Welcome back to the PDB Afternoon Bulletin. Turning stateside, we learned this week that federal agents foiled a plot by an anti-ICE protester to kill law enforcement and government officials in Los Angeles during last week's violent immigration riots. Authorities recently arrested 48-year-old Texas man Zagorsh Vandenberg, who intended to use large-scale fireworks and other explosive devices to target officers and agents enforcing federal immigration laws in California. Officials with the Department of Justice said that Vandenberg had visited a shop in New Mexico where prosecutors say he, quote, requested assistance in selecting fireworks that could be thrown directly at people to cause harm, end quote. That's a clue, according to a report from Fox News. While at the shop, he allegedly told employees that he had previously served in special forces and that he knew how to make pipe bombs. That's another clue. He then volunteered to the employees that he was planning to travel to Los Angeles to join the violent riots with the intent of killing ICE agents and police officers. That also could be considered a clue. Okay, so not exactly the most discreet of terrorists. It's kind of hard to imagine how law enforcement was able to thwart this Lex Luthor. He also said he was in possession of mortar explosives to use in his attack. After requesting the, quote, largest explosives available, he even invited an employee to join him on his planned killing spree. One more clue to add to the mix. Ultimately, prosecutors say Vandenberg purchased 6 mortars. They were still willing, after all of that, to sell him things. 6 mortars, each containing 60 grams of gunpowder and 36 large fireworks. He then left the store and began his trek to Los Angeles, though federal authorities were able to intercept him before he joined the chaotic protests that engulfed the city. In a statement, Attorney General Pam Bondi said, quote, this man allegedly intended to use the chaotic riots in Los Angeles as an opportunity to commit deadly violence against law enforcement officers. Threats like these strike at the heart of law and order. We will not hesitate to bring federal charges against anyone who seeks to harm law enforcement or endanger the safety of our communities, end quote. Now, Vandenberg is charged with transporting explosives in interstate commerce with the knowledge and intent that they would be used to kill, injure, or intimidate individuals. He faces up to 10 years in federal prison if convicted of the offense. As we reported during the anti-ICE uprisings, rioters engaged in multiple violent assaults on law enforcement, throwing glass bottles and slabs of concrete and launching fireworks and Molotov cocktails at officers. Vandenberg appears to have been inspired by these earlier violent protests, but apparently wanted to take things even further. Now, FBI Director Kash Patel praised the efforts of law enforcement to apprehend Vandenberg before he could carry out any attacks. He also thanked the cashier at the store, who took down Vandenberg's license plate and reported him to the authorities. Frankly, he should have thanked Vandenberg himself for being a complete gormless idiot. The FBI director warned other would-be rioters, quote, our message is clear. If you come after law enforcement officers, the FBI will spare no effort to find you and bring you to justice, end quote. And that, my friends, is the PDB Afternoon Bulletin for Friday, the 20th of June. If you have any questions or comments, please reach out to me at pdb@thefirsttv.com. And don't forget, well, not that I'd let you, but to listen to the show ad-free, just become a premium member of the President's Daily Brief by simply visiting pdbpremium.com. And finally, as you've no doubt figured out, it's Friday. We've survived another week, and your reward is a brand new episode of our much-loved weekend show, the PDB Situation Report. You won't want to miss this episode. Our guests include retired IDF Major General Yaakov Amador, he's the former Israeli National Security Advisor, and also former Senator Bob Torricelli. We're digging into the Israel-Iran conflict, including how Israel's defense systems are holding up, damage assessments on the Iranian side, what led to the decision to launch the attacks, and what takes place if the current regime of mullahs and IRGC collapses. As always, you can catch the new episode when it hits the airwaves at 10 p.m. this evening on the First TV, and of course on our YouTube channel at President's Daily Brief and podcast platforms everywhere. I'm Mike Baker, and I'll be back over the weekend with the PDB Situation Report. Until then, stay informed, stay safe, stay cool. Hey, Mike Baker here. If there's something all of us can believe in, it's hard work, self-reliance, and showing up for the people who count on us. Am I right? And a key factor in doing all of that, being able to do all of that, is getting enough rest. You know what I'm talking about, getting a good night's sleep. So I'm happy to be introducing Beam's Dream Powder. Now, Beam, it's spelled B-E-A-M. It's a company that's proudly founded in America, and it's run by people who share our values: hard work, integrity, and delivering results. It's a nighttime blend packed with science-backed ingredients shown to improve sleep so you can wake up refreshed, and you know how important that is. Look, Dream is made with a powerful blend of ingredients: reishi, magnesium, L-theanine, apigenin, and melatonin. And here's the deal. Beam is giving my PDB listeners the ultimate Patriot discount of up to 40% off. Try their best-selling Dream Powder and get up to 40% off for a limited time. Just go to shopbeam.com/Mike, that's M-I-K-E, and use code Mike at checkout. That's shopbeam.com/Mike and use code Mike for up to 40% off. Sleep better, wake up stronger, and show up ready for your family, your work, and everything you do.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and leave a comment, a really positive, nice, and kind comment. That would be appreciated. And if you're not already subscribed to our channel, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our daily updates.